Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Living a Graceful Life. I am Tracy Gelb, and tonight I'm going to be speaking about choosing happiness. And this is a subject that is very near and dear to my heart. I have always had something that I like to refer to as the disease to please. So I try so hard to make everybody happy. And I always have, or as long as I can remember, to the detriment of myself, not being able to say no to many, many things that I've done that have made me very unhappy. So I'm going to start at the beginning so we can see how this journey goes. And as a small child, I have some memories of being just so happy and seeing pictures of smiling and laughing. And then we moved to another country and my parents got divorced and I had new step parents that were not very nice or kind. And unfortunately, my security and everything I knew was no longer, making me obviously sad and unhappy and confused. And as a teenager, I was just, out of control, miserable. I think going through, it's a trauma as a child of what happened. There was quite a bit of abuse and different things. And, unfortunately, my mom didn't know exactly what was going on. Or she didn't know any of what was going on, but it affected my sister and I tremendously throughout our life and caused great unhappiness for us. And as I grew older, making my own decisions now, because I wasn't tied as a child to these traumas and this person and different things and these people, I started making very bad decisions in my life as a young adult, and just out of a lack of happiness, out of not being happy and not loving myself. And I didn't even know to choose to be happy. I kept making these terrible, unfortunate decisions that caused me more unhappiness, should I say. So I went through many years of substance abuse, all different kinds, eating disorder, severe bulimia. I did drugs. I drank too much. I chain smoked. I was addicted to the wrong men terribly. I picked up a little gambling addiction for substance abuse after my sister passed, quite a big one. And I just beat myself up so badly. And I didn't know how to stop or when it was going to stop or how it was going to stop. And all of these things leading up to the passing of my sister almost 6 years ago were a lot for one person to process. And I felt like from the time of 8 years old until until the last 15 months, that I was never happy, that I had no joy or happiness. And that actually turned out to be a little bit wrong. And I'll tell you what happened. I reacquainted with a friend that I hadn't seen in 25 years, and she brought like 6 albums of pictures. And she showed them to me and one of my other closest friends, best friends. And we were so happy, laughing and smiling. And I had a godson at the time I used to babysit. And I realized I did have periods in my life of happiness. I had so magnified in my mind the unhappiness that I couldn't see the happiness ever. And there were very happy times. I had many happy times. I had some rough times, but my choices, when I was a child, those were not my choices. As an adult, those were my choices. And I always blamed other people, always, whether it was the man that I picked or my parents or my step parents or my sister sometimes, or, friends of mine. I never took the responsibility to choose to be happy. I lived in the past. I marinated in it. It made me very sick, very, very sick. And in the last 15 months, something has changed. I thank God every day. I'm grateful is not even, I can't think of a big enough word to use to really how grateful I am to be happy, to be feeling happy, and to be understanding that is my choice every day. I can take a situation that would make me kind of stressed or unhappy, and I choose to only see the good parts in it. And it took me my whole adult life to get here. And it's a process. I'm still, having little setbacks or not big setbacks, little setbacks. I saw a video with my mom. I love TEDx talks. I find them nourishing for the brain and the spirit and the heart. And I found one, and it's called Happiness is All in Your Mind. And it's by a beautiful Buddhist woman named Jen Kelsang Nyoma. And basically what it says, and I think it was a turning point for my mom and I both, when we realized, and this is our motto, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you feel great and you have a great life, and small challenges and things happen, or bigger challenges, you just have to tell yourself, it doesn't matter in the scheme of life. When I look back at my life, is that going to matter? Is that computer not working going to matter? Is that email I forgot to write going to matter? Is that Zoom not working going to matter? No, it's the big things that matter. How you live, what you do, who you are, who you can help. You can never help others. I can never help others unless I'm well. And that was what I needed, was to get well and to be happy. And to be happy has been the biggest blessing of my life. I mean, I feel that at this stage in my life, I'm almost as happy as I was when I was a little girl before everything happened. I needed something to trigger me. And I don't know what happened 15 months ago. I honestly, people ask me, and I think it was an accumulation of things that had happened to get me to that point. I just knew that if I continued on the path that I was on, I was going to live a life that was not rewarding, not fulfilling, not to the capacity that I feel that I'm capable of. I feel that, you know, this transition, and it has been a transition in my life, transformation is all encompassing. They talk about, I was reading a little bit today about dopamine and serotonin, and there's another one that I hear a lot about, oxytocin, and like the happiness hormones, and all the joyful things, doing exercise and eating right and being with other, company, especially women. It releases, as friends, friends being together releases those hormones that make us happy. And all of these things, I don't need to drink a bottle of vodka to be happy, or go to a casino and lose my last dollar, or be with some man that treats me badly, because I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, don't want to do it anymore. I've been happily single for 5.5 years by choice. I will no longer ever, 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 ever be with a man that treats me badly, speaks badly to me, is not kind to me, calls me names, does anything that's going to harm me or my family or my friends. My next person is going to be an amazing human being that is kind and thoughtful, something I've never had before. And that's going to be that's my choice. I choose that. I'm choosing to bring that happiness into my life. As I heal, I'm feeling like I'm more ready. I have had many life experiences, and I used to think predominantly bad, but they weren't bad. A lot of them were good. And they have brought me to the point where I am now, where I am on a beautiful eating plan, where I eat healthy, nourishing food. I teach this beautiful program, Ageless Grace. I have this beautiful program that I was gifted from Denise Medved. I have a wonderful relationship with my mom. It's not always perfect, and I think any mother and daughter, or daughter, mother and son know that, but it sure is better than it's ever been, or since I was a child. I had a wonderful relationship with my sister, and instead of always feeling horrible that she's not here, I just think about how beautiful our relationship was, me, her, and my mom together. What a wonderful sister she was, and how she is proud of me for doing this, because I don't want to wallow in the sadness anymore. And that's what I've been doing. And oh, woe is me. Why did this happen to me? I'm the only person that's ever lost their best friend's sister. Well, that's not true. And I know that's not true. I just was a lot of things that culminated with that, which caused me unhappiness. I choose to be happy. I'm going to choose, if I'm in a situation where I go out with a friend and there's a couple things that are not great, but the rest of it's great, I'm going to look at the great stuff. I'm going to enjoy the great stuff. If I go to a class or to a new thing and some of it's a little, I'm going to look at the great stuff about it. And I think that's where I need to be. I need to choose to be happy. It's a choice. I'm not going to let external things any longer in my life ever again define my happiness, not a man, not a relationship with a friend, not if somebody makes me sad. There's going to be things in life. This is a journey that are going to happen that are going to be hurtful and going to make us sad. But I'm going to choose to not wallow in it, not worry about it, just move on and just do the best that I can in every situation that is possible for me. And it's just learning. There's a lot of things that I've done in my life that I'm not proud of. There's a lot of things I've done that I'm proud of, and I'm going to focus on the ones I'm proud of. And there's, I've been looking into happiness. It sounds funny to research it, but there's a video. It's a TEDx talk from Robert Waldinger, and it's called What Makes a Good Life. And he talks about the human connection, the connection of friends and family. And what I was talking about a little bit about the hormone that we have that actually makes us happy by being around other people. There was a show called CBS Sunday Morning that I mentioned actually in my last show. And there were 4 women that had been going to the YMCA to do pottery for decades, 4 decades together. And they called it their happy place. And I think that for me, I think everybody needs a happy place. They need a happy place. My classes, especially certain ones, are really my happy place. I love the music. I love the people. I love the vibe a bit. My TEDx talks that I listen to and my YouTubes, they are my happy place. My friends, my mom, my bird. Oh, my bird. I was thinking today about different things that bring us joy and happiness. And I work in some senior assisted livings, memory cares, and independent as well as regular facilities. And they bring animals in, they bring dogs in. The one facility where I'm teaching just got birds, little budgie birds. And I see the happiness and joy that it brings when people do my classes in these places. And I basically play music and just kind of move a little bit because of the level of cognition that they have. It brings them joy. The music makes them happy. The memories make them happy. They are happy with each other. I have a place where I teach, and on the same day, 3 women moved in. And they were so confused and so sad because it's an assisted living, and a lot of times they don't want to be there. And they took my class. I did a class, and I wanted to know their names. And I said, oh, the 3 of you, it's your first day. Let me tell you, the 3 of them are inseparable. And this was 6 months ago. Every time I go there in my class, I go there. I do 5 classes a week there. They are there. I do 2 in one day and 3 in the next. And they do their activities together. They eat together. They are like different people than the day that they moved in there. Their happiness level and they're comfortable. They're comfortable now. And, people bring us happiness for the most part. If we're going to, even driving now, I'm a very slow driver, as my friends and family know. I always say I'd rather be late than dead on time. And that's my motto. But it used to annoy me when people would buzz by me like super fast and scare me. And now I just think, well, they've got somewhere they need to go. They're in a hurry and they need to get there. And I don't know what their story is. I have no idea if they're late for an important interview or if and it's not me to judge them. As long as they don't hurt me or somebody else, changing our brain. That's what I teach. I teach neuroplasticity with Ageless Grace. And my mother just did this beautiful brain summit, which is amazing, listening to different people and listening to one of the speakers who was unbelievable. She spoke about taking, in a brain summit of that many hours, there were going to be glitches and there were going to be things, but rather than all of that, just look at the fantastic speakers and the effort my mom put in and her incredible assistant and all of the positive good things that came from it. And what she said was so true and so powerful. And if we could just do that, think about how wonderful life would be in general. I mean, it took me many years to get here. It took me many, many, many years. But if there's something that I can do in my life now, and my purpose is to help others and to bring happiness into their life and to let them know it doesn't matter where you are. And really, because 15 months ago, if you had told me that I would be sitting here talking about happiness is a choice, having a beautiful TV show, being on a food plan that is amazing, and I'm feeling so much lighter, so much healthier, so much happier in every aspect of my being. And I know it's because of the choices that I'm making. I choose these things. I choose what I put in my mouth. I choose the amount of activity that I do. I choose all these decisions that I'm making. If I do want to go with a friend and have a glass of wine, I've discovered this thing called Fit Vine, VINE, and it's a kind of healthier wine with less calories and carbs. I'm making choices that I've never made before, and I only have 1 or 2 glasses instead of a bottle. I want to really truly help people that are in a place in their life that they have these problems going on and they don't think it's going to get better. I can tell you that 16 months ago, I was in a very dark place, very, very, very dark, depressed, grieving. The grief for my sister was not getting better. It didn't matter how many videos I watched, how many people I spoke to. I didn't think it would ever change. I thought I would grieve like this for the rest of time. And I will always miss her terribly, but I don't want to stop my life anymore. And I know that she doesn't want that for me, and is so sad watching what has happened. And now she's in joy, and now she's in peace, watching my mom and I heal and do what we were meant to do. My food journey, and I mention this often because it has been a almost 40-year journey of my life. I've had an eating disorder of some kind or another. And for the first time in my life, I'm not stuffing myself, stuffing my feelings, throwing it up, taking diuretics, starving, binging. You know, I'm eating like a person should eat. I'm nourishing my body. Not everything tastes fantastic. Most of it does, but I'm certainly getting used to it. And I'm on a cleanse of sorts, which I am doing till my best friend's birthday, which is March 6th. She's the one I'm on the plan with. I had meat for the first time yesterday in 18 days. I had a small grass-fed steak, and it was out of this world. I've been having just predominantly salad and vegetables, some chickpeas, and which are delicious, and a few other things. But this is my journey to get to a weight that is comfortable for me for no other reason than my health. And to get to, when I looked at the pictures from 25 years ago, now I know everybody says, you know, it's 25 years ago. I say, why not? You know, why not? I have nothing to lose, well, but more weight. And it's not just the weight of my physical being that I'm losing. It's the weight of the trauma and the eating disorder and the sadness and everything else that has happened in my life. I have to let that go so that I can grow. I have to forgive what has happened. And I want to choose every day to be happy, every single day. There are going to be days that are harder than others, and there are some. We have my sister's birthday coming up, as well as the anniversary of her passing, and then Mother's Day. So it's a rough patch from March to May, but I know this will be the first time, because last year I was starting to heal, but this is different. I feel different. I have peace in my mind and my brain and my heart for the first time in many, many years. People would see me and I would always smile, and they would think I was happy. And I always wanted to be happy. So much that I want to be happy. And I would smile and want to make people happy, but I was so sad. And now I'm happy. I could honestly say, I remember thinking, oh, what would it be like to be happy? You know, what would it be like to be happy? And looking at the pictures when I did with my friend from 25 years ago, I looked so happy and so healthy. And I remember my friend and I eating rice cakes and watching what we ate and going in the sun and playing paddleball and frisbee and being out in the world. And, you know, I used to travel until I had this fear of flying, and I used to go to the Keys, and I lived a beautiful life, a happy life, despite the trauma. And then the men came along and the substance abuse. I think the trauma from my childhood kind of bubbled up and brought a lot of things to light, and kind of, you know, hurt my spirit and my soul. And I'm now just, you know, planning to live a beautiful, graceful life. I love what I do. I teach Ageless Grace, a brain and body program, and I feel like my brain is sharp. It's not diluted with alcohol or bad thoughts or horrible dreams or, you know, all of those things. It's just clear and happy, and I can really help people. And that's what my plan is. That's what I want to do. I want to, in any way that I can. I'm not sure even sometimes what the direction is. I've started writing a book 3 times. I know kind of where I want to go with it, but I just know that I want to tell people, it doesn't matter where you are, where you've been, what's happened. you can get yourself out of it. You really can. It's just a matter of making some changes, because really nothing changes unless you change it. It just doesn't, you can't just wake up and be like, why am I not happy? And that's what I used to do. Well, I wasn't happy because I was putting bad food in my body. I was putting alcohol in my body. I was going to casinos and losing money. I was being around toxic people in my life that brought me misery and trauma and drama. And now I'm with happy, healthy people. I'm, I love my life. I come home and I'm happy, and I ground, I go in the grass. I wake up and see this pink sunset in the morning, and the birds and the squirrels, and it makes me so happy. And this is such a beautiful world, and such a blessing and a gift, as long as we see it, as long as I see it that way. And I look at things so differently. I never, in the mental state that I was in, was going to look outside at the sunset and take pictures for my friends and listen to music in the car again, which I didn't do after my sister passed. I couldn't. All of these things, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. Like I said, it's not even a big enough word. I thank God. I really do, for everything. And I know that this is just the beginning, because now I'm open to everything. I'm open to, new friends, a new relationship, open to continuing my health journey. I don't even want to say weight loss, my health journey, and just to be where I'm at a place in my life that I am truly, truly happy. And really, when you're healthy, you feel happy. I mean, for the most part, because, all of the things, and one of the things that the beautiful gentleman, Robert Waldinger, talked about they did a study, a Harvard study about happiness starting in 1938, human connection, relationships, companionship. Those were all one of the biggest things that made people happy. Not money, not fame. It was that particular thing. So the connections that we make, and the true connections and the true friendship, brings us happiness, and being at peace and choosing happiness. And I have a couple other things I was, making notes, and one of the things that the woman in the TEDx talk, the beautiful Buddhist woman, Yen Kelsing Nyoma, talked about was, every day when you say, am I having a good day? Have I had a good day? And sometimes, at the end of the day, we'll say like, no, I didn't really have a good day, without really thinking. And I'm talking about myself here, about what happened or why we didn't have a good day. Another question that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I think about, do you live in an environment of chaos and unhappiness and yelling and situations, or do you live in a peaceful, harmonious environment? Your house is your castle. It is your peaceful resting place. The world out there can be rough. There can be a lot going on, a lot of craziness, and you come home and you have peace and quiet. And I know some people have small children, so that's a little difficult, but if there's non-harmonious relationships and abusive things and different things, do you live in a peaceful environment? My brain was not peaceful, so it was not a peaceful environment. Now I do. Now I can say that I do. The food I put in my body nourishes me. For the first time in my life, I feel good. I feel healthy. I feel, all of the things that I do, my essential oils and the supplements that my mom and I do, and my healing machine, my frequency device. And we talk a lot about frequency. People don't realize, or I didn't realize, should I say, how important your frequency is, because when you have that frequency, you bring in all this amazing things. You manifest it, you attract it. And that's where I'm choosing to bring my life now, is in a place of peace and harmony and just, abundance, but not in a monetary abundance. And that is the furthest thing from my mind. Anyone that knows me and knows I'm not just saying this, money is not something that I worry about, think about. I mean, I've worried about it when I've been, in certain situations in my life, but it's not something that I choose to have any attachment to. And my mentor, and the person I wish was still in this universe, well, he's in the universe, he's just not, Wayne Dyer would talk about, just be attached. When you're attached to nothing, everything seems to work out. And I know it sounds weird because we are attached to people, but truly, it's been a journey of, I can't even describe it. I would wish for everybody, my friends and family, to feel what I've been feeling. If I, if I could put it in a bottle, I'd give it away. There'd be no selling it to each and every one of you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and just choose, if we can just choose to be happy and look at the half full glass, as opposed to the half empty. And I teach a program that I mentioned that makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. I am so blessed to teach this program of joy and activating our neuroplasticity and our happiness and our memories. And I want to do a tool with everybody to demonstrate a little bit about it. There are 21 amazing tools. And my mom and I teach a complimentary class on Sundays, and you can just go to my email, which is my name, Tracey Gelb, TracyGelb @hotmail.com. And I would be happy to send you the link. It is at noon Eastern time on Sundays, and come and join us. We would love to have you. So I'm going to do a little dance party with you guys. And dancing is just an expression of joy, and happiness. And plug this in here. We're going to dance. We are going to dance. All right, let's get ready. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. All right, we're gonna dance. Let's roll it. All right, we're dancing. Thumbs up for dance party. Thumbs up. Because we're happy. Happy hands. Because I'm happy. Swim. Does that make us happy? Swim. Other side. We got to do the other side. How about a hand down? Let's get the brain going, everybody. Up, up. 1, 2. Up, up. 1, 2. We're going to do it 2 more times. Okay. Makes us happy. How about that makes us happy? Because I'm happy. Yes. Let's blow a happy kiss. Right. A little of Ageless Grace Dance Party, one of the 21 amazing tools that we have to make us happy and to make our brain happy. Our brains need those type of activities, the music and the connection, whether it's on Zoom or in person, which I'm so blessed to be able to do both. So I have people from all over the world. I have people from Toronto. I have people from different parts of all over the country. I have people from Puerto Rico, which is part of the country, but I just have people from everywhere. So I hope you can join if you get a chance in Ageless Grace class, just to see how happy it makes your spirit and your brain. And they talk about how, different studies, how music really can trigger memories, happy thoughts and happy things. And that's why I'm so enjoying teaching the Ageless Grace. I don't have one minute where I don't feel blessed and grateful to be teaching this program as a part of my life. And I just, I feel grateful. I feel so grateful for the show. It makes me so happy. And it makes me so happy to see so many people supporting me. I can't thank you guys enough. It's just been nothing but a blessing. I feel like this is the beginning of a fantastic chapter in my life. I think we all have different bubbles. One of my dearest friends used to say that life is like little bubbles, and I used to love it because it was a good little kind of analogy. And that's how I feel. This is such a good bubble, and I can't wait to see what happens. And I really do thank you guys so, so much, and hope to see you all next Monday. Have a great night.